So we're back of our last interview this afternoon with Steve and Hilary Clark. And Steve and Hilary were here with us until very recently, leaving last year. Hilary had a strong hand on the admin of the centre, and Steve was here as chaplain. So during your time at Crowhurst, you sought to take the ministry out. How did you do that, and what do you think the impact was or still is?
Yes, well, in fact, it's a step back from that. It wasn't we decided to take the ministry out. It was God reminded us that it was meant to be going out, and that was part of the original vision that he had given for the Crowhurst ministry. And so we were just being obedient to that, really. And as soon as we agreed with God that we would fulfill the ministry he'd given us, the invitations started coming in from churches of different denominations to go and share good news with them, and particularly good news about that part of salvation which is to do with healing. So visits out, doing training days for groups of people within churches, churches coming here, being trained up to pray for people for healing, those sorts of things. In addition to that, the development of an e-learning course with the basics of healing ministry within it, looking at what Jesus did and applying it to the present day.
And of course, unashamedly plugging that now, because that course is starting again in April, end of April, 30th of April. So if people are interested, then please contact the office.
Yeah, and we've done it 3 times now, so we've worked out the problems. So it's an 8-week course that seems to really bless people.
Wonderful. And then for you personally, where do you think the healing ministry is going?
For me, the thing that is really bubbling within me at the moment is healing churches, because the church is meant to be the body of Christ. You see, Jesus can stand in the middle of a desert and 5,000 people come to him. We're the body of Christ, or meant to be. Therefore, evangelistic campaigns shouldn't need to happen. There should be a natural attractiveness about Christians together that draws people in. That's not happening. Something's gone wrong, and I feel passionately that the next phase of ministry is helping churches see the challenge of being truly the body of Christ, led by the Spirit into the adventure that is largely unknown.
Oh, sounds very exciting. Is that something you're still praying through at the moment, or are you starting to flesh on? Yes,
the church we're beginning to get established in doesn't know anything about this yet. But no, there's an excitement within me.
And at the heart of that is community.
Yes.
I think being the body of Christ is about being community.
Yes.
And how does the church do that? Whether it's in a small village church context or a big city church with hundreds of people.
That's right. Since the Enlightenment, there has been a steady progress over several hundred years of becoming more and more and more individual. And that wasn't the world that Jesus lived in. He drew together a body of people to live with him. And we need to be a group of people living with Jesus. It's not about how much we know, it's about relationships between each of us and with him. That will make the difference.
Yeah. How do you be community in today's context?
Yes.
And still have your family base, your wherever you happen to live. So what does being community as a church mean?
Yes.
How do you live it out?
And I guess that will also, you'd be covering some of the hurts that happen in church as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We need to be healed from church.
Sometimes. Sometimes it can be the place where healing happens.
Yes.
Okay, well, last question. Perhaps you could update us on what you've been doing since you left Crowhurst nearly a year ago.
Chilling out.
Glad to hear it.
No, sometimes. I think Steve didn't do anything for 6 months, and that has been really good. We had some time away just to kind of gather ourselves for a new lifestyle.
And write a book.
Oh, well, yeah, he just happened to write a book. And it's been interesting because Steve's home all day, every day, and that presents its own challenges when we've been used to having separate lives almost. But Steve is, I mean, you're beginning to get a role within the church we started to attend, and we started going to a home group, which has been brilliant, just getting to know people.
Yeah.
And in the context of a big church, that's quite hard. So those have been very positive things. We've loved having time to see the family more. Picking up a granddaughter from school is great fun. I've been doing some crafty stuff, which I haven't really had time to do, catching up on things I've had for a long time to do. And that's been fun. And I've still been doing my work with Christian Healing UK, although that will be drawing to a close in the next month or so. But that's been good for 5 years, a role that I've had. So that's sort of where we're at the moment. I'm still feeling my feet into St Mary's in terms of exactly what I do, and you actually have a role now helping with the pastoral side. So that's really exciting too.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for spending some time on Facebook today